Angle it up a little bit here. All right. Hi, guys. Blake here today with Lilley's Landing Resort and Marina. You think if I say that enough times I wouldn't mess that up, but beautiful Lake Taneycomo. It's like 10:30 in the morning, and I am here today with Captain Brett Rader of Chartered Waters.
Hey, folks.
We had a miscommunication on a trip today, so we got to go fishing together instead. So today we got 2 units of water running right now, kind of fluctuating 2 units, but got 2 units of water. We got some of Brett's setups here. This 5-weight rod, I'm assuming.
I think that's a 5, yeah.
Yeah. And we're using a slip bobber rig. This rig has a barrel swivel right here. How much line you got running above it? Like 20 feet?
It's about 20, yeah.
Yeah, about 20 foot of line above the barrel going into the reel. You got a drop tag, maybe 4 or 6 inches long there, that holds the drop shot weight. And we got about 2 foot in between each fly. We got one of Brett's, which scud is that?
It's a soft shell scud there.
The soft shell scud that he ties up. And I don't think he has a name for this little guy yet, but
no, we don't.
This is one of his main flies that he uses when the water's running. That really seems to work pretty well. And you said you sell all these flies, right?
I do.
And is that Chartered Waters?
Yeah, Chartered
website?
Waters. Contact me on the Facebook or the website.
Yeah, Facebook.
Either or. All the social medias, I guess.
Brett has a innate ability to take patterns and variate them and keep the fish interested in them.
Famous last words.
And Brett's been on this lake as a guide for what, 20 years?
20 years, yeah.
20 years. He's definitely one of the best guides on the water. And we actually got up here all the way to the dam a little bit ago to realize that somehow the battery I grabbed for the GoPro was dead. So luckily Brett had a charging pack and we were able to do a little fishing and then get the battery charged up without having to drive all the way back to the dock. Oh. So I know I've talked about slip bobber rigs of different styles before, but working them still the same. You don't really cast them. You're gonna set the line over the edge of the boat and you start slowly feeding that line. You wait till you can feel it hit the bottom, and then you still want to keep slowly feeding. A lot of the fish will hit it as it's dropping, as you're still getting that line fed all the way out. And there's not really any mending the line either. You can play with it and give the flies a little extra action, or you can scoot it in to get the weights to touch the bottom a little bit better. But for the most part, it's boat control. You can either use the trolling motor to slow the boat down and get the weight to bounce better. And you just have to kind of keep the boat in line with the floats, because you can't really mend or move them. Really, oh, there's a fish. This is my first cast. I think that was my first cast. Cool thing about the slip bobber rigs is you can fish it 2 ways. You can feel the bite through the line, and you can also see it happen on the indicator. Kind of gives you a little bit of an advantage, especially if you're not quite looking at your indicator and you feel it. You can still set the hook.
Okay.
Hey, take a glove off here. Ah, fly in.
Got him.
I think I got him. There we go. I definitely like that little fly. You're gonna have to come up with a name for that.
Yeah. Loosely off my G-bug pattern, but different material.
So Brett was just explaining to me when we were fishing a little bit ago that you pull that a few times, let that weight touch the bottom, get the feel for it, and then you just slowly pull it out. And that's something I learned today. On all my slip bobber rigs, I cast them out there and try to get the line to go to the bottom as fast as possible. But interesting, they're running a little bit more water. I don't know if there's a little higher power demand with the colder temperatures out the last couple nights. But they've got 2 units scheduled until, well, it's supposed to shut off between 11 and noon today. And then I think they're going to kick 2 units on again later tonight. There's another one.
Yep.
I can net this one. See if you can get a double going. Yeah, I got another one. Hey, hey, we did get a double. Look at that.
Mine's bigger.
Yeah, I think yours is bigger too. This one all of a sudden decided he likes to fight right there at the last second. Sure. Yeah.
Too big.
Oh. There we go.
Ben?
There's Captain Steve Dickey around us. Missing? I don't have many reports from anyone else this morning yet, but we have seen a fair amount of boats catching fish, so. The fish are liking the running water.
It's definitely been more consistent with the running water. What do for a moss check? When the bite's tough, we'll usually just do this real slow drop like this until you get up your fly line all the way down to the float. And when it's good, we'll catch them just drifting along when the line's down by the float. But when it's tough, we'll just reel them up and then feed it back out again.
And feed it back out again.
A lot of bites feeding them out. A lot more bites.
That's also interesting information.
It's tougher.
Yeah, well, I'm assuming the camera was able to pick that up, but Brett was saying that whenever the bite is tougher, you just do that slow feed all the way until the fly line reaches the indicator, and then you just reel it back in and let it drift back out again. But when the bite's good, they don't seem to care either way. Yeah, I'm starting to get a little warm.
You throw that bear like over in that?
Yeah, so the one time I saw a bear here on Taney, he was standing right there.
All right. That's real close to you.
Yeah, I know. I was just right below those apartment complexes right there. I was telling Brett a story about a bear that I saw in Taney one night, and 3 days later there was a reported sighting of a bear just right up the road here at 165 intersection. So thinking that it was probably the same bear. At least there was a good chance.
Spot in here normally.
I should have got a little closer to him to, maybe I'd come back with a good bear story. Or someone would write a good bear story about me, one of the two, I don't know.
You ever seen one in Missouri?
That was the first bear I've ever seen in Missouri. I've seen people's trail cam footage of bears, but
Yeah. Missed him.
oh, I missed him. The style of drift rig that's set up on the bottom of this rig is the same one that I set up on the spin cast rod with the dropper line and the swivel, just without all the slip bobber stuff. But keeping a dropper weight a few inches below your line does help keep those flies up off the bottom a little bit. Got him?
A little bear. Maybe. First it did, now it's up in the middle. Thank you. Feel that.
We'll call it the coral reef sculpin.
That works. It's kind of sponge-bobby. Good spot. One of my favorites.
Right now we're passing the front side of Point Royale. If you couldn't hear Brett, he was saying that this is one of his favorite spots on the lake. And for good reason. There's a fish.
Okay. Good spot, bud.
Hey, I finally got one to take a scud. Look at that. Catching fish all morning and they all ate the coral thing. Hey, you got a fly in your shoe.
Stacy, it's still a little more. Most days not.
Yeah. I'll let you get the boat where you want it before I cast back out there.
I'm gonna scoop this out. I'll go from the edge here a little bit. Got in the whirlpool here.
Yeah, if you're trying to get a nice even drift, you can definitely get sucked into the Andy Williams side pretty easy.
Along that edge though, that's the spot to be. Person on this side of the boat gets kind of drugged behind in this little spot though.
Mm-hmm.
Compensate a little bit.
If you're not seeing your indicator bouncing up and down for most of the time when you're doing this, you need to make an adjustment to your weight or slow the boat down.
Yeah, definitely want to be bouncing.
It's got to be bouncing.
Boat bouncing.
That was a big jump.
I got a little too far over here in this corner.
Yeah, over in the eddy water.
It's out here, but
Happens to me every time I float through there.
During my set before, yes, before. I could see it coming. No, I was doing. Yes, no, I started. I was actually
lot of times on trips, I'll stop and drift about here, then go down to the Narrows, bypass this little
Yeah.
stretch in here.
We can do that.
We certainly could.
I'm down.
Want to do that?
Yeah. I cleaned some moss off. All right. So Brett was just saying that a lot of the times on trips, this is about his stopping point, and then he'll scoot down the lake to the Narrows side of things. So that's what we're going to do. Stick with the professional opinion here, and I'm going to turn off the camera. And we are going to go down to the Narrows, and we'll be right back with you. Okay, we're back. We're just right above the brown house here. There's a midge hatch happening in front of us right now. Pretty thick one. I've noticed the midges lately have not been hatching until about 10 or 11 once that sun comes over the bluff.
Sure, they like that.
Whereas this summer they were hatching as soon as 6 o'clock in the morning. Oh, I'm silly. I should have set the hook there.
Good one.
I thought it was just getting hung on the bottom, and then it started running that direction. Nope, that was a fish.
Felt fishing.
Do what?
Felt fishing.
Oh, I think I'm going to pull it in and do the little drop method one more time.
Yeah, let's check some moss maybe. Get to the hot spot.
That's just what I was thinking.
And
I think I'm moss clean. I think I dropped my indicator right in the sunbeam there. There we go. There it is. Hate when I do that.
well, I've seen a few big ones in this stretch.
Yeah. Yeah, over the last month or two, I've spotted a couple really big fish in this area. He was putting up a good shake there for a second. That might be bigger. I'll net him. You just work on getting a double. He's in your line. Or I thought he was. Oh! Oh man, that feeling felt like he bounced off of one fly and hooked on the other.
Yeah, he's got a good jump.
Okay. Well, maybe he rolled up in the scud and was connected to the scud too.
Had one.
Ah, dang it, we almost had a double. There's still a chance. Got him. Yeah. Getting a little bigger. He almost found his way back to the water there. There we go.
Those weights are tangling.
Yes, they are. And so is non-tapered line at the end of a fly rod.
Yeah.
Oh, I felt like I had another fish on right there.
Fishing still.
Right in the sun. Oh. Rigs are getting a little too close to each other there. Nope.
Red tag's been good lately.
Yeah. So far, the best stretch we found was from Trophy Run down to Andy Williams' house today. Seemed to be fairly consistent.
Tuck into this inside edge, you can get them coming down to Fall Creek here, way over here on the inside.
Brett's saying we're gonna push in behind this big sycamore tree down in the water that he's been doing real good on the far inside there on the shallow water.
Sometimes you stop to drift about here. Again, tough bite. It'll slow up past here, but when it's running, we'll catch them
Yeah.
on this inside edge a bit.
Oh, I remember a couple years ago, I would just pull up behind somewhere in there and drift that real shallow inside with some scuds and usually do pretty good.
I don't really like that tree falling over. I like coming around that little corner. That was a great little spot. But
Yeah, I know it.
changed it for sure. Not bad, but not as good as it was.
One of these days, the overhang tree that we have listed on the map up there, that branch that sticks way out over,
Yeah,
one of these days that one's going to go and we're going to have to cut it up.
I know. Seen you guys out there cutting those before. We need to. Alright, we'll give it a try.
That one would definitely have to be cut out of the way because it would block the only way up the Narrows.
Remember when that first one came, but cut there, and I don't remember Phil out there cutting it.
He probably might have been. I know they do that kind of stuff on the White River a lot, and they get trees that fall over and block the passages.
Yeah, you almost have to. Trying to get away. The wind's kind of pushing us back upstream here. We want to turn sideways a little bit more.
Okay.
This side.
Oh, he was on there. Come on. Did I get him that time?
Looks like it.
Either that or I got a leaf.
Action fishing. Very big.
No? No, this might be a one of them.
Yeah, it's getting bigger now.
I don't know. He's still pretty tiny.
I've seen you catch small.
Yes, yes. I've caught much smaller. Oh, there we go. Yep, perfect release. Well, did we reach the end of the run here? Well, I think we've reached the end of our run for today, so we thank you guys for watching. Brett, thanks for taking me fishing this morning.
No problem.
And if you're going to come do a guided trip, that's a good one to pick. But we thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow.